It's times like this past week that I am reminded of not only why I love to do this podcast, but also why I love the community that surrounds it. We have to do better. And we have to do things that promote and encourage those around us to be successful and be as successful as we imagine we are, or we think we are, or what we strive to be. And I hope, as I kind of said last year, as things came to a head and we all started to freak out a little bit, that this is a time of growth. We can get through the crap that is surrounding the community at the moment, and thankfully it all seems to be pretty localized to one particular individual. But what can be easily forgotten is how words can affect not just those who they are directed at, they can affect those who come in contact with the person who is immediately affected. They can rub off. They can show the darker side, the underbelly of what the community can be. And it's not often that we have to have these moments of thoughtfulness and introspection about who we are as a community, but I am very thankful for those of you who listen to this podcast and those of you who are supportive not only of myself and the work that I do with This Is My Bourbon podcast, but also of the women in this industry and this community, and showing them that there is a seat at the table for everyone. And I've got to be honest with you guys, we just have to do better. We got to step up, and we've got to remember that it's not just us anymore. My 10-month-old daughter deserves a world where she can grow up and be successful and be recognized and be respected by her male peers. She deserves a world that doesn't have to show its ugly face like we've seen over the past week. And she deserves to not be talked to in the way that our friends have been talked to over this past week. And it's not just my daughter. It's everyone's daughters. Our sons, our children, our family members, our co-workers. And the best way, the only way that change can happen, is if we're strong enough and brave enough and willing enough to do something about it. I think that we've shown a lot of strength over this past week. I think we've shown just how resilient this community is, how when we need to be at our best, we buckle down and we are. We show people that when you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. In the best way possible, I would say. We've come a long way. We've got 1 million more miles to go. But in the end, this community is not just built on a brown spirit, but love and admiration for each other. Everybody is welcome at the table. Things will get better. Let's pour some bourbon and pull up a chair, yeah? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast. I am your host, Perry, and with me this week is Eric.
Guess who's back?
Again.
I've made it to 3.
The real Slim Shady. Please stand up.
Easy E. Guess who's back?
Eric, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
Back in Kentucky now. And the last week I was in Florida, but that went well, and here we are.
It did work out really well. I could hear the Office theme playing in the background, though, during the pregame chats, which cracked me up.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it when we were recording, but when I was editing, it started playing, and I just like was out in the garage editing, just like dancing to myself to the theme.
Yeah, I set up all the gear there in the front of the hotel room, and April was like, well, I'm going to do something while you record, and she loves The Office, so anytime she's wanting something just to put on, she puts The Office on, and like she was jamming to it. I think she was dancing in the corner to the themes. I mean,
There was a moment where you kind of looked off screen.
yeah, I was like, April, what's going on? And she just kind of, like, I caught her off guard, and she was like, oh, it is kind of loud. And I was like, yeah, a little bit. Just a tad.
Just a
A
hair.
teeny bit.
Just a hair. Have we awkwardly talked long enough without including somebody else?
I mean, he's staring right at us. Like,
He
it's
is.
really, I mean.
I think we need to plug him back in. He looks like his batteries are
I
running
would probably
a little low.
turn him on. That does not sound right. Yeah.
Hi, Dustin.
Tell us about yourself.
Hello.
Okay, hold on. Let's give you a better introduction than that. So we've talked about Dustin Whitaker multiple times on the show. We have attempted to get you on the show multiple times. We've
At
recorded,
least 2 or 3 times.
recorded multiple episodes with you, and none of them have made it to air.
See,
Mostly because we recorded after having had too much.
the problem is, Perry, I'm going to break the glass here for everybody. Perry doesn't know how to control himself.
Okay, hold on.
It's Perry's like just
This is
pounding
my show.
pours
You
and
know
like
this is my
bottles,
show, right?
And he's just like, "Whoa,
This is
let's
my
do
sh-
this."
All right, guess it's going to be 4 times that we've tried to get him on the show.
Listen,
Womp, womp,
we started
womp.
early today.
That was a good choice on our behalf.
And here I am in the middle trying to keep everybody in line. I keep everything in line. So I think we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
I'm not feeling too bad so far.
Yeah.
I haven't regretted anything yet, I would say.
It's
Wow.
been 30
He
minutes.
said that
But
with
it's
some
also,
emphasis.
It's also 5 after 12, so.
Is it now?
And we've recorded a 30-minute pregame chats.
Is that like the
Oh,
longest
boy.
pregame chat you've ever recorded?
No, I think we had one that was like 45 minutes.
It was an interesting pregame chat, to say the least.
It was something.
I liked it.
That was fun.
I didn't mind it at all. Hey, first, before we get into anything, if you are new here and you have not yet, please subscribe to the show. Thank you so much for checking us out. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and saying hey to us again. We appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. So are the first-time listeners. I don't mean to exclude you all. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at My Bourbon Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. You can also leave us a 5-star rating and review on your podcatcher app, and we'll read it out here on the show if you would like. And then you can also become a supporter of the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. We normally start the show out with Flying Blind. And I think Dustin's going to pour something from his big box of bourbon.
I think so. I
Big
think that's what
box of
Eric agreed
bourbon.
to. He was saying
I
something
agree to
about
this.
He would like pretty much close his eyes and
I'm going to
just pour him
close my
something.
eyes. I'm going to hand my glass over to him, and he's going to pour something in there, and that's our flying blind. And Perry's going to do it too.
Now, Dustin, mine's the one that says Perry pour on it.
His actually says his
Nuh-uh.
name on it. Mine has a Gundam head on it.
That's what's up.
Anybody watches anime, you may know what a Gundam is, and it's the RX-78.
Gundam Club for
Nerd
life.
chat just began. I'm going to keep moving on. Okay.
That was awesome.
Gundam Club for life.
All right. We're
Right.
gonna close our eyes.
Well, good lord, you
Eric?
two. You're gonna make this
Yes.
a little tricky for me here.
I don't know what to ask you about with my eyes closed. What's the longest you've ever held your breath?
Awkward.
Well, I can't think of that right now.
What's your favorite Coldplay song? Mine's The Scientist.
Coldplay?
was made of sugar, how many cups would it take to get to the moon?
Wait,
My
what?
Lord.
It's the... Okay, never mind.
The moon was made of sugar, how many cups would it take to get to the moon?
Hey, if the moon is made of spare ribs, would you eat it?
Hey! Hey, Laura Cutter here.
All
right, boys.
I
Here
don't
you
know
go.
what's going on right now.
Eric, you can take your hands off your eyes now. You're good.
Okay.
Oh, it's bright in here.
All right.
Hey, this isn't a Glencairn. Sorry.
Wait a second. And I will pour something different so
Boy,
you
this
don't
is a-
see.
What the heck is this?
It smells like a coffee cake.
I think it smells kind of lemony.
like lemon pound cake.
I
Some
like
kind of
lemon
breakfast
pound
cake.
Shout
Oh,
out
that's
to
kind of
my
what it tastes like too.
shout out to my wife. She's got a killer recipe for a lemon pound cake she makes. Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm just
thinking
bummed.
about
I'm
food.
just bummed we didn't get taquitos this time around.
Look, we all know she can make some killer Mexican food,
That is true.
and
She actually, how long did she live in Mexico?
was it 6 or 7 years? I cannot
Jeez.
remember. She can like speak fluent Spanish, and I'm talking like straight up telenovela type stuff, like
That's pretty incredible.
just going.
Oh my
And
God,
I
I'm so
sat there
hungry.
looking
I
like an
literally
idiot.
ate a little Debbie cake, and that's all I've ate. Today.
That's been it. You
So I
want me to
better not
DoorDash
talk about food.
some Taco Bell?
This tastes like maple. Did you pour maple syrup in this?
Well, I will let you know.
Oh, is it the maple cakes?
This is not the maple cakes.
Oh, snap. Okay.
It tastes
I poured
mapley.
me the maple cakes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know what this is.
yeah, you guys.
Like, I know most of what's in your box, and I have no idea.
Like I say, Perry has had most of the things I have bottle wise.
Is this that Hewling Station?
This is not the Hewling Station from Old Dominic's, which is also one of my favorite newer distilleries. I'm a big fan of their stuff.
Okay, this tastes like you took maple syrup and put it on a peanut butter sandwich. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that's kind of wild, but it's like a peanut butter bread and this maple syrup on it.
I want to see your opinion when you actually get to try the maple cakes later on today/tonight, because like I just sniffed it and it's like it smells like there's a stack of pancakes in front of me with maple syrup on it. That's what it smells like in the
That
glass.
sounds amazing.
So I got sent for my birthday from Joseph Brazo a bourbon barrel aged maple syrup.
Oh,
I want to make a cocktail with it so badly.
I want to drink that cocktail.
When I first met Whiskey with a View Nate, or Nate Woodruff, or Whiskey Nate, whatever you want to call him, it was at Bourbon on the Banks a couple years ago, and it was when he was still working for Whistle Pig, right? Yeah, Whistle Pig.
yes.
And
Yes.
he brought this maple syrup that seriously I could have just drank.
Well,
Like
Vermont
it
is
was
up by
water.
that wonderful country called Canada, and they have some great maple syrup up there. Like it's a natural religion up to there.
I
mean,
like
they-
I like how easily that rolled off your tongue, like it was exactly what it was supposed to be called.
He's so he did it so good. It was just so smooth.
San
like-
Diego,
Canadian?
founded in 1789
San Diego.
by the Dutch.
Spanish for.
Is this? I'm going to take a guess based on what I saw in the box earlier. Is this the Chattanooga single barrel?
This is not
Oh, okay.
in Chattanooga. I
All
have
right,
two Chattanooga single barrels in there. This is not either one of those.
I think you just need to tell us at this point.
Tell me what this maple peanut butter sandwich is. Oh, it's a Russell's Reserve.
I don't remember it tasting like this.
If anybody knows me, they know my love for any of the juice that comes from the Russells. I absolutely love wild turkey, any of the wild turkey. And this is a private barrel selection that Dixon Deadman, a good friend of also the show,
oh yeah.
and Jamie Ferris did on their birthdays because they have the same exact birthdays.
That's
So
you
this
even got
is
a
a-
sign there.
Yep, I even got it signed. When I seen Dixon at Whiskey Weekend Batch 2, I had him sign the bottle for me.
That's
Golly,
that's
that
awesome.
bottle's been around for a long time.
And so, yeah, so this is from Whiskey Weekend Batch 2. So this is from 2020?
2020, yeah, that was the last
And
thing
so
we,
it was,
that
but
was the
then
last thing we
probably
did
it was
before
probably
COVID.
it was actually in 2019 because it was distilled in 12/31/09, dumped on 9/3/19, and bottled on 9/30/19. So this bottle,
Nine and a half year. Am I doing that math right?
yes,
9.5 year.
Oh
Russell
man,
spit?
this is good.
I gotta
this
grab
is
that.
this is a
10-year
specifically
pick.
from Lincoln Road, and every pick I've ever had from Lincoln Road is amazing. And I'd like to
Yeah.
thank Dan, the Bearded Dram, for hooking me up with this.
Golly, I haven't talked to Dan in forever.
I actually need to get contact with Dan, but me and
have-
him will actually talk back and forth, and he's helped me get some picks from Jamie, and I greatly appreciate it. Hell of a
I'm
guy. Hell of a
suddenly
guy.
sipping this slower because I want this to last even longer.
I know,
now,
right?
Because it's. I mean, I'm not going to back down. This is a peanut butter sandwich with maple syrup on top of it.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Honestly, I can say every pick I've ever had from Lincoln Road package, whether it be a rye or bourbon, like whatever it is, it's always been amazing. Jamie Ferris has a hell of a palate I've had from other people. I haven't had very many bottles myself. Like, I even got a Stranahan's. I'm a big Stranahan's fan. Single malts.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
heck yeah.
I love them. And I have a Lincoln Package Road store of Stranahan's, and it is the best Stranahan's I've ever had.
Nice.
I think he should have brought another box.
He's done that
have.
before.
I
There have been times that he's brought 2 boxes in.
I mean,
But I didn't know if our livers could handle that. Because, I mean, it's yeah.
we've been preparing for this our entire lives, Dustin.
They say it's better for you to drink consistently in moderation as opposed to drinking a lot all at one time.
This is true.
So
This is true.
Moderately all day.
This is true. This is very true.
No, but it's awesome. Like, this is great, and like that box
Absolutely.
you got over there it's
And that's only one bottle out here. You
I
haven't even
know,
seen anything
I
else
know.
yet. I told you. I got kicked out of playing, got kicked out of PE in school, because of playing kickball, dodgeball, man. I don't mess around.
What's that have to do with your box of bourbon?
I'm just saying, I don't mess around, son.
it's a metaphor.
You don't mess around. I feel like we need to play kickball now.
I get to go see Dixon next week.
Oh,
Do you
what are
really?
doing?
I am so jealous.
So my dad had this idea that before my brother's wedding, which is coming up in a couple of months, I need to work on some things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Dustin doesn't care for the spare tire that I got during COVID.
We're all there, buddy. We're all there. Trust me.
Anyway, he said it would be cool for us to all go and spend a weekend up at the Beaumont
Oh,
That's
beforehand. So
I love that place.
we're going up or over, I guess, on Friday and doing a tasting with Dixon that evening. And I'm really, really excited about it. I'll tell you what I'm most excited for. And this is this is a good little segue into what have you been drinking or what are you going to be drinking, I guess. I'm so excited to go to that place with them and drink on the front porch
Oh, yes.
late at night
Yes.
with them as well. Like, it's one of those things where I can only describe to people in so much detail what that experience is like with people that you love and people that you have a good connection with. And to actually be able to share something like that and share those memories and show people, like,
Have they ever been to the Beaumont?
no.
Oh,
No.
This is going to be good.
So I'm really, really excited for that coming up next
I think you
week.
need to see if he will do a whiskey in the box Instagram video.
Oh,
Because like if
I love those videos.
if Dixon is listening, or if you talk to him, tell him that whiskey in a box series that he started really helped me during the pandemic, because that was the first time I recorded a video of myself actually doing a blind. I would have.
I think that was the first time I saw your face.
It may have been.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
I think that was the first time
when I saw your
looked
face.
But I would have my wife pick anything. I got a box, and I would record that, and I would post it, and I would tag Dixon because he was doing a thing like everybody, do a whiskey in the box video. And I started doing that, and that really gave me more confidence in, tasting and like putting my notes out there and all that. So I really appreciate the whiskey in the box idea.
It was, I think it was just that thing, one of those things that really helped us out at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
That was another reason why I did that day of live streams in March of last year, because I knew that things were absolutely hitting the fan at that point, and we needed to have some sense of community again, because we knew we weren't going to see each other for a long time, and some of us still haven't reconnected since then, and it's just we all needed something that, even though we weren't together, we could all still kind of relate to. And I think that that's what whiskey in a box
Yeah.
kind of did for us at the beginning.
It was so fun just seeing everybody, like, because you had a few people that were doing it like weekly, and like you would just be waiting, like, oh, I wonder what they got this time. Or like Aaron Dixon would put out his video, and then it's like, oh, I got to put out mine now. So it was just so fun there.
The different hats he would wear, different stuff, and then he would get angry at the end. I know it was the fact part of the show, but it made me laugh so hard every time.
What's really interesting to me about that series, though, is that it was initially introduced as this really fun thing that he was doing and encouraging other people to do it. And then it just turned a corner and he announces that he's leaving Kentucky Owl. Mm-hmm. I was like...
And then all of a sudden he's sending boxes of whiskey to people for tastings. Yeah. And like, I mean...
We're going to do one of those with the listeners of the podcast.
Nice.
Sometime. Really? Dustin. I do this all the time. I'm so sorry. Dixon and I have been talking about it for a few months. And it's kind of one of those things that is floating around in the atmosphere around the podcast, but it will definitely happen before too long. This is a long-winded way of asking you guys, what have you been drinking recently?
Go first, Dustin.
Really? Wow, thanks for putting me on the point there.
Hey, you're the newbie here.
Excuse you? Maybe not so newbie.
You know what I'm just remembering, too?
My episodes have actually made it on the air, Dustin.
You know what I'm just remembering, too,
in the words
Dustin?
of Ben Stiller, touche.
Actually, it's pronounced touche.
Well, touche to you, Perry.
Oh, I snorted.
That actually reminds me, there definitely is a third episode that never made it to air that we recorded at Whiskey Weekend last year in the corner of the Beaumont.
Yes, I remember that.
Because it was so loud and rambunctious
in there. It was so loud in there, and we were I was trying to help make it official, and it was just...
No, it's fine. There was some great conversation in there.
Yes.
I think that is one of my favorite moments that I've ever had with Will from the podcast.
I do remember that. I do.
We had such a great conversation with him, and he was losing his voice.
He was. I remember because he was talking so much and been loud and
the year before, Grays was losing his.
Yeah, but Whiskey Weekend will bring that out anybody. I mean, that is true. That is literally like an Ironman triathlon. That's like a survival of the fittest type of like 2 or 3 day thing where
I probably got a bronze medal if it was a triathlon.
After Whiskey Weekend Batch 1. I was drunk for 2 days after it was over.
Put this way,
I'm not even kidding.
It's like a 3.5, 4 hour drive from my house to the Beaumont Inn. Probably closer to 4.5.
I think I know this story, and I love it so much.
And so everybody loads up the next morning, and I'm like half hungover, half tired. I got in the car,
half drunk,
still half drunk. I did not turn on a radio. I did not talk to nobody. I literally drove home the whole drive in complete silence, just contemplating life. Why did I do this to myself? Too. I mean, it was one of those where you're just like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I think I took years off my life on this. I mean, it was great. I had fun. I loved it. I would have done it again. But it was just like,
smoke 8 cigars over 3 days.
That's not far off.
I mean, that's so many cigars, and I know that like at Batch 3 there was like a cigar lounge.
Yeah, there's a little section where everybody would go like hang. It was kind of like a balcony area, and like I don't smoke cigars, but I would go out and hang out with everybody and talk and like they were like going through them.
And I'm a big fan of cigars. I love having a cigar, and I'm not saying like just pound through them and drink, but have some drinks and stuff. Like earlier this week, I literally sat on my front porch, put on Sinatra at the Sands. Nice. I poured Jack Daniel's barrel proof pick I had, and I just grabbed a cigar out of the humidor, and I just sat there and just smoked it and listened. And it was just fantastic.
I've got a new Jack pick that you need to try. Ooh. You've had it.
I did.
You just picked it up.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my... What have you been drinking?
Sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to step on your toes.
No.
To get back to...
I'm waiting on him to tell us what he's been drinking.
We got sidetracked. We totally went on the exit over
he's
here
got
to
a whole
the left.
box. I figured he's been drinking more than just that one.
Okay, yes. It's safe to say...
You've seen my studio and my floor.
I'm going to break the glass and say...
I've seen your floor, too.
You have just bottles laying on the floor everywhere.
So they know what each other has on each other's floors. Awkward. So, anyways.
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 All right. Dustin, answer the question so Eric can.
Let's see. I've honestly been I have so much stuff at home. So it's just, what mood am I in to drink? That's my problem. So,
I need to refine this question apparently, because every time I ask it, it's like, what haven't I been drinking?
What have I not been drinking?
Pick
That
something.
is the question.
Pick something that has been unique and specialty. But like forever, Swan would just say that. He'd go, "What haven't I been
I said it
drinking?"
the first time I was on the show.
all right, fine,
Dustin,
fine.
what's something very unique and special?
What's
that
been
you've
your
drank
favorite thing that you've
lately?
had to drink recently?
My favorite thing to drink recently I've had was probably I had the Nulu toasted
Nice.
from Total Wine, the wine pick that our good friend
That is-
Swan that you like to talk about
Swanee.
turned me on to. That was very good.
We like to talk about.
That we like to talk about. You know, our long lost friend. Point to the sky. We haven't seen him for a while.
He's not dead, Dustin.
to talk
I saw him yesterday.
He was a co-host on the podcast.
He literally handed me a bottle of bourbon yesterday.
I haven't seen him, so I did the whole cross and kiss your fingers and point to the sky. I haven't seen the guy in a while.
Good
I
thing
miss
you're
him.
about to hit a home run.
Muchas gracias, senora. See?
To all the listeners out there, Swan is alive and well. Just letting
And
you
he's
know.
also not totally off the podcast forever.
No.
He's
Well,
I'm not
just
saying
he's
he is.
on
I just know he's
hiatus.
busy. And
No,
so
I'm
much
gonna get
love
more
to
hate
our
mail now.
much
Here
love
we
to our
go.
Total Wine brethren. I mean, that's what I'm saying right
Good
here.
thing you're barely on Facebook and nowhere else.
I mean, gosh, I know, right?
Oh my! Can I stop right there for a second? Me and this guy, I'm pointing to Dustin right now. We were on a YouTube live together with our
heck
friend
yeah.
No.
Wrestling with Whiskey, and it's just we're all in like Wrestling with Whiskey, his bourbon group. And we're just talking about normal stuff, but he kept referring to Instagramless Dustin because everybody's like got an Instagram, you know, everybody's got some, where can you find you, follow this guy? And this guy's like, just send me smoke signals. Like, I barely have a Facebook.
I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter.
And he's on Discord. He's on Discord, but he doesn't have an Instagram.
Wait, are you
I
really?
don't.
Are you really on Discord?
Yeah.
See?
I didn't know that. We need to get you on the Whiskcord.
The what? Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Look at his... The what?
What did I say?
The what? No, I'm talking about this guy. The what?
I know. You say it like that? The what? The
The only reason I got it is because of Bourbon Bites, because I have been in the whiskey lounge with all of us before,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and
Duh.
I was way drunk, and I'm not talking like a
Doesn't
little.
remember how to log
like
in.
I was, whoa, and Misty woke up because she was asleep, and I got yelled at, and I did a total like Irish goodbye, which was like not even a hey, I gotta go, guys. It was like click, shut off, out, because yeah, Misty wasn't happy.
All right,
then
we need to get you in the Whiskcord. Then it's basically
what?
I hate you guys. I swear, I'm like Abe Simpson over here yelling at the clouds, and like you two are. Do I need to break out my memes over here? I strapped an onion to my belt because that was the style at the time.
I'll be dead in the cold-hearted ground before I recognize Missouri as a state.
You know what? We walked on the mantle and we were happy about to breathe in the air.
What I was going to say, I'm watching you. We need to get you on the Discord group that is for all the Whiskey Tube stuff.
Okay.
And it's called Whiskcord.
Okay. I've just never heard of that. So I'm like, the what?
The what?
I heard you. I heard you both.
Because literally, only reason I'm on Discord is because A, Wrestling with Whiskey, and B, Bourbon Bites. That's the only reason I've got it.
Okay.
Don't ask me more than that. I don't know.
I don't have anywhere to go with that. I would like to ask you to pull something else out of your big box of bourbon, though. Mm-hmm. Eric, do you want to answer
continue the
what
conversation.
you've
have I
been drinking recently?
Oh, yes, I can do that. And I've got some unique things.
This is a rowdy episode.
Rowdy. I love rowdy.
I'm on this episode, so I should tell you everything you need to know. Like, literally, like in the description, be like, Dustin's the guest. That is all.
That is all.
We brought Dustin on
This
this
is
week.
my Dustin
Enjoy.
podcast.
Enjoy. That should tell you everything you need to know.
So I was recently in Florida for the Steak and Stave event.
Yes.
Where I was working with Hots Meat Market in Tampa and Liquor Depot in Tampa, and we put on a steak and whiskey pairing. And I was pouring. I got more in my glass here.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And Trey, the owner of Liquor Depot, he brought over his. He brought over a Eagle Rare pick that they did.
Nice.
And it was so good. And so before the tasting started, I switched one of the pairings up. And I put that Eagle Rare pick in the mix. And it was so good. Like, do you ever take a first drink of something and you taste colors? Like, it was just
Yes.
it was purple. It was like this sugar purple. It was like purple cotton candy. Oh, it was so good. Like, that pick was so good.
So there's when it has to do with sounds and colors, like you hear a color, it's called synesthesia. And I think that there's also it might be the same thing, but like when you look at a person and you associate them with a shape and a color. Right. And Fallon had Billie Eilish on The Tonight Show this week, I think. And he was asking her about it because apparently she also has synesthesia, excuse me. And he goes, all right, so what do you see when you look at me? She goes, like a big brown rectangle.
Can you imagine when I see you, I see a big brown rectangle.
How awful would you feel after that?
Oh, God.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But that thing, like, I immediately just, like, I sensed purple. It was like purple cotton candy. Oh, it was so good. And then I picked up the Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel that Total Wine had. You had that one too, and I had it last night, and it was one of the most sweetest.
Most sweetest.
It's
the most Swedish.
The sweetest.
Are we talking about IKEA?
Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel I've had.
What'd you say, Dustin?
So we talking about IKEA? We're talking about sweets.
Sweets.
So I want to bring this up too, as we let that question just kind of fade away.
Oh,
Joseph Freza answered our our call for questions on the pregame chat,
Oh, no.
and he said, "Am I the only one who listens to Eric and hears Kenneth Parcell from 30 Rock?"
really?
It's Jack McBrayer's character. I don't hear it at all, but that does make me laugh a lot.
That's the first time anybody's ever said that one. So what do you think? Is that me?
I don't think so. Right into the show. Let us know.
Get on those the barrel rings.
Yeah, get on the barrel rings. 859-428-8253.
Somebody barrel ring that and talk to me.
It's been a long time since we've had a barrel ring. To the point where I'm getting spam calls on that number now.
Somebody, come on. If you're listening to this,
hello, we're trying to reach you about your extended warranty.
let me know what you think on the barrel rings. I want to hear some barrel rings. I need a barrel rings episode.
We need to do another one. We really do.
So do that. Get
But
on
the
there.
problem is the last one got so few downloads.
Ooh. Somebody who's interesting, get on the barrel rings.
So, Dustin, we just poured this Chattanooga whiskey single barrel from our buddies over at BS and Bourbon, Bob and James.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys. I met those guys.
They are good guys.
This past fall. Or
I've
past spring, sorry. And they were so funny.
I've not met James.
Me neither.
I love Bobby to death.
I have not had a chance. Bob, you know how you are. You're in our little solo group from Whiskey Weekends where we all rolled together. Trust me, that's like I still got our Kentucky single barrel. We still sip on a little bit here and there. So
You got, did you get Genst at Whiskey Weekend?
I did. I came back somehow I had a box of just random samples not marked and beer.
That sounds about right.
And they were all
That
from
sounds on point.
Travis.
That sounds on point.
Don't know what they're in. I still have the samples. I've had some. I think one was like a 1,000-year-old Eagle Rare or something like that. And like
that old Eagle Rare, I've had that.
He just handed me a box, like
Here you go.
a George T. Stagg box. He handed me
That's
a box
incredible.
and says, "Here, take this back to your room." I was like, "Thanks, man." And got home, took it out. There was beers. There was just samples of just nothing marked, and I mean, it's awesome.
What beers were in there?
Oh man, I would have to look at them. There's stuff from local from where he is. One
Could you
looks
get on
like,
the mic a little bit more? No, I mean you can turn it towards your face and just.
there was
We can still get this marriage annulled.
there was one that looked like the. I'm done. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Have I not been close enough the whole time?
Not the entire time.
Oh, okay. I just started talking. I started looking at Dustin. I started looking at you, and I'm like, my head's doing this.
Can you pivot your neck less and
Pivot.
or pivot your neck more and your head less, or maybe your whole go full Batman '89. I don't know what this position is, but I hate it.
I don't like it either. What are we talking about? We haven't even made it past the what have you been drinking yet? You are this guy over here. I mean,
Hello.
I mean, it may not even. This one might not even make it.
No, this
told
one's
you.
absolutely making its air.
I'm a bad influence.
Oh,
We were talking about what
the
you
beer.
got against with.
Yeah, blind samples and a couple of beers from where he's from. One of them, the label's awesome. It's like it looks like the Gorillas are the band. The Gorillas are in a car. It's like something about like backseat.
He sent us that.
Yeah, I got it.
The peanut butter stout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ejectocito cuz.
Yeah.
Ejectocito cuz or cuzzo or
Whatever
something.
it is, but that's the one. Yeah.
How many of those beers have you made it through?
3.
I've had 4 of them.
I have
I've only got 2. I've only got 2 left.
I got 2 and I've done 1 and it's so good.
So, was there a pickle beer in there?
No, he didn't. I did not have a pickle.
Okay, let's talk about the pickle beer for a second.
Whoa.
It straight up just tastes like pickle juice. Travis, I love you, buddy. I swear I thought that I was just drinking pickle juice out of a jar.
I don't even know what to say on the subject. I mean, I
didn't hate it.
I didn't
But I was
hate it,
kind of
but it
hoping
was
that there would be a
so
little,
strong.
I was kind of
a
hoping there
pickle
would be a
taste.
little bit of like hoppiness or maltiness or something, and it was just
I think
like,
I got through about half of it, maybe.
I drank the whole. Well, no, I take that back. I shared it with my dad.
And I was only
And my sister.
drinking it. And I think I got about halfway 3/4 of it, and I couldn't finish. I mean, it was good, but it is so strong of a pickle taste.
It's really that strong.
Seriously,
Oh,
it is.
I need to try that.
It's intense.
It is. It's like literally you're drinking pickle juice out of the jar. I didn't taste any even beer, even like a beer note. You know, like
Yeah, that's
like,
what
since
that's
that
what I was saying.
hoppiness,
Yeah.
you know, not even the hop. Like beer has that. There's something I call like a beer taste, beer note. You didn't get it. It felt like I was literally taking a jar of dill pickles and just drinking the juice.
Did he send you that margarita sour?
Don't know if he did.
It's got the none on the label.
I do not think so.
He sent me one of those he sent me one of those and I drank it yesterday. It was okay. You good?
Yeah.
Cool. It was intense. Why do I smell this and think of Kings Island?
Kings Island? Funnel cake?
I think that's what it is.
They have that. I haven't been in a couple years, but they have that booth that you can get like all those different funnel cakes from, and that
I like funnel cake.
I think that's what it is. I think it is a funnel cake.
This was the Chattanooga, right?
Yeah.
It smells and tastes like a funnel cake.
This is Chattanooga whiskey. Which one is this? Is this prime or time? Because they call them. This
is
like
prime.
They call one of them like the wife and the girlfriend, but I always call them either prime or time because it doesn't make sense why you would call them mother or girlfriend or I can't remember. There was a reason they called him Bob. If you know what it is, explain it to us. I don't remember.
118.6 proof. We were supposed to be keeping this low proof so that we could drink this 90 proof George Dickel and review it.
I mean, this guy, he's doing it.
Let's just
Do you
blame
notice
everything
how
on
everybody
Dustin.
they just keep pointing at me and it's like it's my fault? Like I'm holding them down, making them drink this stuff.
We haven't done an episode like this in a really long time, where it's just kind of like catching up and drinking, but there's just microphones in front of us. Mm-hmm. And it is making me so genuinely happy right now. Like, we spent so much of last year being serious with the podcast and like talking about the news and talking about what's going on in the industry. And like to kind of step back and do something a little less formal regularly every now and then. I understand. Dustin's trying to give me instructions.
Look, I'm just making sure we are drinking pretty good over here. And so I threw him the cork for the bottle. I just want to make sure it doesn't get knocked over.
I will have you know, I have only broken one bottle of bourbon before.
And I totally understand
even then,
I'm just being safe.
Even then, everything that was in the bottle was still safe.
I have not.
Because it was just the neck that came off. Ooh. That means, I haven't told this yet. So I did this before a hangout. It was the most recent hangout that we did. And I didn't realize it until I started, because I wanted to finish it. You know, it was only like 2 ounces left in the bottle. I started drinking it, and I realized that there were teeny tiny little shards of glass.
Oh my
goodness. No.
To the point where one of them got lodged in the back of my throat.
Oh, Jesus.
And I had to reach my own finger into my own mouth.
This is getting intense.
And pull it out.
Whoa. I think I need another
Was that the drink? That's the one you put in the turkey baster and or the gravy bowl and poured for me?
Yeah.
At the hangout?
No, this is that I'm talking about like the virtual hangout we did.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like the actual
No.
And you were pouring us samples out of like gravy bowls and stuff like that.
Oh, jeez.
That was one out of a gravy bowl. Gravy bowl. The rest of it was out of.
Somebody needs to do a pick and call it turkey gravy.
I got to get a bottle of that Dad's Drinking Bourbon.
Oh yeah, they
KFC.
got
I've
Russell's.
seen that, and I'm already, Bob, get with me. Buy it now. Well, I'll pay for shipping.
I need to text
Johnny,
and say, please, can I have one?
Dude, I have their the last Russells they did the smoked turkey, and they got like the Oscar Mayer label
I
on
missed
it.
that one. I'm so sad.
We had that when I was over at your house. That was phenomenal.
Oh, it was so good.
I'm so sad I missed that one.
I'll let you have some later.
Okay.
So are you gonna bring a box over later too?
I don't know. Maybe y'all should just stop by the house and come to the basement and just grab something off the floor.
I feel like that's not gonna end well before we go to dinner.
I don't think anything's going to end well today. No, it's going to end well, but like it's going to be rowdy.
Like I said,
by the time we're all said and done, I need to be able to take care of my child.
True.
I got in trouble
talked
for that
about
last
having
time.
dinner. Like we actually have plans, but I've already said, look, I won't be surprised if it turns into what you want from Taco Tico or what you want from
Tico.
Pizza Hut or Papa John's Pizza. So, I mean,
Hey,
everybody knows me. I love pizza.
25% off your regular menu priced order at Papa John's.
Hey,
You heard it here.
You know what? So I'll say this on the main episode too. My contract is ending with Papa John's, so I'm not going to be doing social media for them after the end of the month. But I just want to so badly in the future, if I have a bad order, or even if I have a good order, like tweet about it and then have to get the same customer service that I gave to people.
Oh, jeez.
And like, I know all the right buttons to push and everything.
That's funny.
A little taste of your own medicine.
Anyway, Dustin, you want to do one more thing before we review this this here Dickel?
Sure. Well, is there any preference?
Let's start stepping it back down in proof, I would say, so we can readjust to the 90-ish range.
I mean, guys, okay. It'll take me a minute. You guys go ahead and keep talking because Most of the stuff I got's high proof, so I'll have to see what I got.
I mean, the box is big, but I don't know if
It's not that big.
It's not that big.
You know,
It depends on what your view is.
It depends on what angle you're at. What?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm still confused. Probably shouldn't do that one before we do a review of
This is true.
new product. We could do the barter house.
I mean, it doesn't need to be killed.
I'm not mad about it. Always pouring for himself first. Well, don't keep pouring.
Oh my lord!
He gave me a mean look, and he was still pouring.
He's
Like,
like,
well, what
you
am I
know
supposed
what?
to
You're not
do?"
going to get any, Perry.
That's when I take the whole bottle and just chug it back. Huh? How you like that?
That's okay. I've got some of my own.
Humble brag Perry over here. I got my own.
I got it secondhand though. I got it from Swan.
Well, I got mine secondhand from the old Gintz there himself. He brung me this bottle at Whiskey Weekend Batch 1.
I miss Travis so much.
I know. I was telling Misty that because
Daggone it. He called me the other day and I said I was going to call him back and I didn't.
Well, that's like I was telling Misty was
While y'all talking about Travis, I'm going to go pee really fast.
okay.
Because we're not talking about you have to leave the conversation.
No, because this is a good time to go pee.
When Eric leaves, we all get to talk about him. Everybody just smile and wave as he leaves. That's right. That's right. He's good.
Cute
Keep
and
making eye
cuddly, boys.
contact,
Cute and
and
cuddly.
he's gone. Okay, this guy is not good. He needs to go.
He hadn't even closed the door yet on the bathroom. Jeez Louise.
Anyways, I was telling Misty that we need to go. I need to try and at least go see Travis because
Yeah,
a couple
for
weeks
sure.
ago, I did make the trip up to Rochester, New York, and seen one of our
See
good
Travis-
friends
or Christian.
from the podcast, and also he is a member of the This Is My Bourbon podcast group, but I don't think he gets on very much.
He doesn't.
Christian DeGrave. So we went
Grave.
up and seen him and his baby, which is very cute, and the wife Rebecca, and we got to enjoy the
All right,
Northern
who's-
New York.
Who's cuter, his kid or mine?
Hold on, I got to go to the bathroom.
What a mean thing to ask a
That
friend
is
of.
horrible.
Isn't it just?
Jeez.
Take a side here.
Choose a side, my baby or his baby. Good Lord.
I didn't mean that seriously.
I
I'm so
know you
sorry.
didn't. You're all good. But no, we got to see them for a couple days, and it was fantastic. I've never been to upstate New York, so that was very cool to see. Oh, watch out.
You
Hey.
looked like you just
And so-
glided through my kitchen like you were on Heelys.
I got to actually have an official hot garbage plate, which was amazing. I could use another one right now, and some pizza logs. Yo, those are what's up.
I don't know what that is, but I want it.
I will explain it to you. It is take like a mozzarella stick, put pepperoni around it, like kind of wrap it around it, and then roll it inside of an egg roll.
So hungry.
Roll inside of like an egg roll, like shell, like I can't remember what they call those. Whatever, like
Wonton
the
wrapper?
wonton
Wontons?
wrapper, yes, and then deep fry it. Even though Christian tried to explain to us the first time, saying, they put it inside, the biscuit thing, and it rolls up. I'm like, a biscuit is not an egg roll wrapper, a wonton wrapper. So, but they are amazing, and I've already looked up recipes, and we're gonna make our own here very soon. So, maybe the next time I come see you, Perry, we will make some.
Sorry you're so hungry, Eric.
No, it's all right. This is really good, though.
I love this so much. It is perfectly balanced with its oakiness.
And this
Sitting
is
at 20 years, you
20. I was going to say 20 years.
would
right?
think that it would be a lot oakier
way
than it is.
over. Yeah,
But it is it's subtle, but in the best way possible.
we had we poured the. I have like one orphan barrel, and it was the Old Forge, and it's
It's intense. It's 15 years.
15, 16, and it's way more
So much
intense.
oaky.
Yeah, and
But
this
isn't it
is-
higher proof too, though?
I think it's still. What is this one? I think it's-
90.2?
I think it's 90s. The
Oh,
Old
I thought it
Forge.
was in like the 1-teens.
Is it? I
90.2?
can't remember.
90.2.
Either way, this one is great.
Yeah.
And see,
Isn't it weird how we...
I'm
I
never
had totally forgotten about that, and you started talking about it, and I was like, oh,
look
yeah,
at them.
that
They're
did
already
happen, didn't it?
connected. Aw.
I mean, it's so desserty too. Like I know that.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I've tried the other orphan barrels, and they've been, good, okay, but this is the only one I tried where it was like, I would buy that one.
I
because of the price, because they the price is just so jacked.
See, that's the thing. I know that people have a problem with the price based on what you are getting in the bottle. However, I think that the Rhetoric products are 100% worth the price tag.
The Redicks are good. Those are the only other ones I can honestly say that I've had where it's like, yep.
I think that they are close enough in that, and you're getting it for less than what I'm about to say. But they're close enough to that method of pricing that Heaven Hill took with Old Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm. The 10 per year.
Yeah, 10 per year. $10 per year. I think that they are close enough to it that it makes it into a really good value for what you're getting. And I know that it's, $150, $200 a bottle. Mm-hmm. But
this makes this one... This Orphan Barrel.
This one you get for like $115, $120.
Yeah, this is definitely worth it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I kind of forgot that I had this one in my collection. And I pulled it out after a while and I was like, oh, I've got a 20-year-old bourbon in my collection. I don't have many of those.
Negative.
I barely have 12-year-old bourbons in my collection anymore, which is sad.
It is sad, isn't it?
It is. Because now you got to pay a lot of money for age-stated stuff.
Well, that and just harder to find stuff. I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
I was just explaining about how I'm from Indiana, obviously. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. It's gotten harder and harder. Would you two shut up? Anyways, it's just harder to find stuff.
Would you two shut up?
Sounds like a long-lost Marx brother.
Do you see how I get treated when I'm a guest on this show? Do you see how this is? This is horrible.
You know we love you.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you're from Indiana, obviously.
I was just trying to say that it's getting harder to find stuff even up there. I mean, not that we're far from Kentucky, but, the last few years, I could... I had a couple places I can go hit up or some different stores I can go hit, and I could find, your Stag Juniors. I could go find your Elijah Craig barrel proofs. And now it's to the point where it's like you can't find anything.
Yeah. I think that's something that we weren't particularly ready for with the bourbon boom, that it was kind of like the death of the honey hole. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of want to do an episode on that or a video.
When you said that sounds like an amazing episode. Yeah, the death of the honey hole.
I think we should... I feel like that actually might make for a better commentary video for YouTube. But even if it is that, I'll still have you. I think it would be cool to have you for that.
I mean,
that's a big conversation to have.
It's huge. It's so different right now compared to pre-pandemic and stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely worth another episode because it's just not the same. It's not the same.
But I mean, even pre-pandemic,
I guess it was getting to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were stores even in Richmond, when I was living there, that I could go in and I could find stuff that I couldn't find anywhere else. I mean, sure, some of them were marked up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to walk into one store and find every single bottle in the antique collection, but it was at least 3 times the price,
right.
3 times the MSRP. So
and then I started noticing that you have your stores, the days that stuff comes in, there's usually a couple of guys that you're going to see there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you start seeing somebody else, and you start seeing this other person, and you're like, it no longer feels like that's your little, that's your spot. That's your stop, because it's all these other people are there now. It's like everybody knows your spot.
I miss big bourbon releases, though.
Oh, so being in line, talking to everybody.
It's one of my favorite memories from a bourbon release is 1 a.m. Chad, Sarah, and I are recording an episode in line at Liquor Barn.
That's awesome.
Because we were trying to get there for the best spot to get, the antique collection or whatever. I don't think any of us got anything that time.
That's always the thing. It's a gamble.
Yeah, but I mean, it just is genuinely so much fun to, hang out with people in those scenarios, and it's one of those things. I don't know if it's ever going to come back.
I don't know.
But
I think everything's online raffles and stuff now.
Internet's ruining.
A lot of it is.
Internet's ruining the future, man.
Man.
Damn internet these days with these kids,
Yeah, I was going to say this guy needs to be
whippersnappers.
talking about.
Back in my day, we had actual raffles where they hand you out the tickets.
Oh,
It's the same concept, Grandpa. It's just done differently.
I don't like different.
I don't want Fop, damn it. I want Dapper Dan.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Well, this place is a geographical oddity. It's 2 weeks away from everywhere.
2 weeks.
Get in, boys. I'm going to RUNNOFT.
I still say they should make a cocktail with that name.
RUNNOFT?
Yeah, remember I was the one that actually come up with that idea.
Chad and Sarah made a tight spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's really good. I've had it before. You know what I'm hoping is really good, though?
What's that?
Perfect segue, by the way. Is this George Dickel 8-year bourbon that just came out.
It says bourbon on the label.
It does say bourbon on the label.
It does say bourbon.
It says bourbon.
So let's talk about why it says bourbon for a second. Technically, it could have said bourbon on any of its Tennessee whiskey before, right? But according to whom I believe is their master blender or master taster, whatever it is, this is more in line with a bourbon profile as opposed to the Flintstone vitamins.
The old
The
Flintstone.
Tennessee whiskey profile.
It still goes through the same process.
I was going to say, is it everything's the same? They just feel like this
Yes.
blend, or because it's not a single barrel.
No.
And
It's a small batch.
This blend is supposed to fit the bourbon profile as opposed to the Tennessee whiskey Dickel profile.
It, like I said, it still goes through the filtering of the Lincoln County process. Its mash bill does qualify for bourbon, 84, 8, and 8. And apparently it's just because it tastes like it that they called it that.
We'll see. I do like the label.
I think the bottle's gorgeous.
It looks nice.
But
Yeah.
I've not had a problem at all, really, with the George Dickel
I like
bottling.
the gold. They got it's got like a gold label on it, and they actually, it's an 8-year age dated.
Doesn't it feel like they're kind of trying to trick you, though, with the pretty gold label?
Yes. There's another gold label that's amazing, but
Is it the whole redneck effect, I call it? Like they try to do like the bright and shiny, like with like bass boats and stuff like that. Like, they
put
use
the sparkles in
the
it.
metal flake, as I like to call it, the metal flake paint.
I've never bought that gold bar stuff, so that didn't work on me.
Me neither,
Isn't that
so I'm good.
Scotch?
I don't know.
I thought it was like a
American
bourbon.
whiskey.
Yeah, it's like an American whiskey, but it's like barely 2 years old. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
but they put it in a
super-
gold bar or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Truly, I don't mind the nose on this.
I was going to say, like, so far, the nose is not bad.
It's kind of syrupy, kind of candy-y.
Almost, have you ever took, like, syrup, and put it over in, like, something, you're frying something, and you put a little syrup on there?
No, but I want to.
Okay, well.
You are making me hungry.
Yes. It's almost like a burnt syrup.
Yeah.
Like the sugar.
Okay.
The sugar.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
More caramelized.
Yeah,
Almost, yeah.
caramelized. That's
There
the
you
word.
go.
I should have
There
said
you
that.
go.
I just went the long way around. But like, caramelized. It's not bad. The nose is not bad.
It really isn't. It's interestingly enough got kind of a waxy note to it. Like it smells more like the artificial candle of like a maple syrup, a caramelized maple syrup, than it does like just like something that's actually been made right in front of you.
There's just this almost this little burnt note. Like I
Yeah.
don't mind
Yeah.
it though. It's really unique, and it's not like burnt like you smell something that's burnt like that smells bad. No, it's just this little like burnt like toasty note in it that I really like.
I don't see a whole lot brightness wise though on the nose.
It's all dark.
It is.
You immediately think dark notes.
What was the year on this? What, 8 year?
8 years and 90 proof.
8 year, 90 proof.
I would think just based on the nose, it's a little higher proof than 90. Honestly,
I think that this is every bit of 8 years old though.
yes.
Like, I think that is really what is doing most of the work here.
That's all I was going to
is
say.
the
Is like
age.
if you don't think it's 90 proof, I think it's definitely 8 years old.
No, for
So
sure.
I mean, like you're saying, like it's hitting above its proof. Well, if it's not hitting above its, if it's hitting above its proof, then I would say maybe it's like maybe 5 year, maybe.
yeah,
But if you're thinking 90 proof, definitely like an
It's-
8,
yeah.
9.
It's got a nice oakiness on the nose as well. I mean, all the burnt caramel. Wait, no, burnt maple syrup.
Burnt maple syrup,
Burnt
caramelized.
maple syrup.
Yeah, there we go.
You said the people in Canada will not
I
be
gotta work
happy
on
with
that. I gotta get straight to the point instead of going roundabout the way saying it. But anyway, so I'm gonna take a taste. So
I don't mind the palate on this either.
I'm gonna say I think the palate it's plain. Like I'm not saying it's bad.
It is hands down regular Cheerios.
Yeah, it's like you didn't put any frosting on it. You didn't put any sugar in there. It's just like it's not bad.
But it's also not great.
It's not great. It's not anything that I'm going to sit. I can sit and like the nose. I can sit and think of like, oh, how did that note come about? Like, it's just there. Like,
I will say I think that this would fail miserably in a cocktail.
oh, you wouldn't get anything extra from
No,
it.
because it
No.
couldn't hold up. I don't think it could hold
No.
up to the ice and everything else.
It
It'd definitely fall.
would definitely crash and burn with some ice on it. I mean, this is not a on the rocks type of bourbon. at
No,
all.
you add anything extra to this, and it's just you're just drinking just something in a glass.
Yeah.
Like, it's taking a lot. I'm really thinking about it too. It's taking a lot for me to find something unique about the palate. Almost like any kind of like unique note. There's not really anything there.
Well, I've never gotten plain Cheerios on a palate before.
I guess that is unique then, right?
Yeah.
When you think about that. But as far as something specific, I can't bring anything other than it's there. It's okay. Like,
I will say, we cracked this before we started recording. Well, I guess no, actually, we did it during the pregame chats. And you and I both said that there was a sour note almost on the finish. That's gone for me.
I don't get much of a finish this time.
Now it's like just the palate.
Yeah.
It's a very smooth. It's almost like a paste. You know what I mean? Like there's not a whole lot of texture to it, but it's very consistent.
Yes. I know exactly what you're saying.
So it just kind of hits that one note and just levels out. There might be a little bit of rose water.
I was going to say everything, any kind of like note I'm picking up, maybe a little bit of a little vanilla. Like I think it's
Slightly.
a lot of grain, but it's really like
It's very grain heavy.
yeah, it's watered, and it's like it's watered down. It's
Yeah.
like you said, like you put this on ice, like you ain't gonna get nothing. You want a plain drink, you just sipping on, like that's just there. Like, but yeah, the finish is gone. The sour note that I got on the finish earlier is gone, and there's not really much of a finish period on this.
It's weird how much it drops off from the nose to the palate.
I mean, the nose is great. Like, I love the
Yeah.
nose. I mean, that's very specific in my mind, a burnt maple syrup, like caramelized note. But I mean, it just doesn't. Once you take a drink, like the palate is just not there.
No. All right. What snack cake would you pair this with?
Oh my! I would. This is one
A
that
dry oatmeal cookie.
this is one that you want. This is one that you want the snack cake to enhance the whiskey.
So like a honey bun.
Oh yeah, a honey bun.
I think a honey bun would kill with this.
I love honey buns.
Honey bun would be great with this because the honey bun would add more flavor to the whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to like sometimes you have a whiskey in a pairing and it turns it into something new, or the whiskey makes, enhances the flavor of the cake. But the cake is definitely going to be the thing that's enhancing the whiskey.
Yeah.
With this pairing, and the honey bun would be great because have you ever fried a honey bun?
We talked about this
I know.
last.
Immediately,
before.
I started thinking about that frying a honey bun,
And that
in a
also takes
skillet.
me back to what I said about taking a glazed donut and
But it's the same concept.
put a little butter on it and put it in the microwave for like 15, 30 seconds. You're welcome.
So yes, if I'm going to drink Dickel Bourbon 8-year, I'm going to do it with a honey bun that I've just fried.
So, this is a tough one for me to review because it is so average, kind of skirting towards below average
Yeah.
as well. At $30,
It was more than that.
was it? How much was it?
35 at Total Wine.
All right. Well, I gotta reimburse you for that.
No. But yeah, I just don't.
I think that there is better value out there.
Yes.
I know it's an easy one to fall back on, but I would much rather buy Turkey 101. Mm-hmm. I think that there are better 8-year products out there as well. I think that there are better 6-year-old products out there. I would easily buy the new Evan Williams 1783 over this.
Oh, all day.
Hands down, that is a much better bourbon than this is.
Is it available down here? I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I haven't seen it by me.
Liquor
yet, so-
Barn has it.
I will say, all that talking, I never got the Dickel notes, though.
I didn't either.
That's the thing. I mean,
Maybe slightly.
I guess.
Maybe ever so slightly, like towards the back end of the palate.
Right. But it was never that. I mean, we have I brought over the 13-year bottled and bond Dickel. And I know the age is a little different, but I mean, that Dickel note is so prominent in that bottled and bond that it just makes it almost unenjoyable. So
Why does it say this on?
Perry's examining both
Hold on.
bottles right now.
Well, I've never noticed this before, and I have the 13-year bottled and bond, and it's been around for a while, but I've never noticed this before. On the back, it says, "Come for the moonlight, stay for the whiskey. George would want you to." What does what?
What?
What does that mean?
Cue Dustin face with the what?
That doesn't make any sense.
That sounds like something that a local bar in Pigeon Forge would have on their window.
Moonlight, moonshine.
Moonlight Moonshine.
There we go.
Stay because George said so.
George done told you stay here,
George
boy.
told you to stay. You're going to stay. You're going to drink the bourbon.
Who's George?
That's all it is. But
George Dickel.
you know, George.
You know, George. You know, the other George. Not that
you know,
George.
Georgie.
You know, the other George.
Georgie Porgy had a pie. Is that the rhyme? Georgie Porgy had a
I
pie.
think there's a Georgie Porgy.
It doesn't matter.
Either way.
I'm gonna give this just a hands down a 10 out of 20. Like, there's no, I'm gonna go lower than that. I'm gonna go an 8 out of 20 because there's nothing really striking me as great about this. It's so middle of the road and boring for me that I don't hate it, but I also don't have any interest in finding a comfort zone with it or finding something about it that I do like. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so unimpressed with this.
I'm going.
It's just not for me.
No. I'm the same way. I'm going 8 out of 20.
Yeah.
And the majority of that score comes from the nose.
Same. I mean, I was kind of tabulating it in my head.
I added up here, and the majority came from the nose.
I gave the nose a 3, basically.
I think I was 3.5 or something like that. But
yeah. I mean, even at $35, I mean, technically I gave that a 2 for the price. There's just so much other stuff out there that's better.
They're
at that price range, and even below that
they're
price.
so much more better. And I honestly wouldn't buy this again, other than if I'm wanting to set up if I'm setting up like a pairing or a blind sample set for somebody or something like just to throw it in the mix. Not because I'm like, this is going to excel. This is going to be something that kind of mixes things up a little bit, and people may guess this and that, but that's the only reason I would probably buy this again.
Yeah, I agree. Dustin, thoughts?
I'm not far off you guys. Like, you guys are saying, what, 8 out of 20?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 9 out of 20 just to change it up a little bit. Because I'm right with you. I mean, like you said, the palate, the nose on it's amazing. The nose is really good. I mean, you smell it, you can smell that. You get that oak. There's definitely a little... I get, like you said, like a little bit. And you're talking about maple syrup, Eric. There's a little something there. But then once you drink it, it's just very middle of the road. It's very gray. Black and white. It's really right down the middle, gray. It
would be really funny to pair this with a cigar that is really, really, really dark and sun-grown.
So like a Maduro.
You wouldn't even get anything off of the bourbon at that point. It would just be nothing but tobacco notes from the cigar.
With a Maduro or anything higher, like you saying, like a sun-grown, which is actually one of my favorites. I love sun-growns.
I'm a shade-grown guy.
Anyways.
What are you waving for?
He said hello, sun-grown. I was like, hello.
Oh, hello. Hug the sun.
But it's just... I mean, like I said, a cigar, at least a Maduro or a higher cigar would totally destroy this thing.
Yeah.
If you were sitting there trying to smoke it and drink it.
I mean, this is made for like a shade grown at the shadiest point.
This thing is made for a Connecticut.
100%.
Either a Connecticut or like a really light cigar, almost like a flavored cigar. Something that's very light, something that's not that strong
black and
flavored.
mild.
Black and mild, a Swisher Sweet.
You all need to do a cigar pairing for the beginner, because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Dude,
I've smoked cigars before. I didn't know what I was doing, and I know how to smoke a cigar, but I would never know what to pair with what. Like,
sure,
we talk about all these other pairings, but that's one thing. Like, I would be very beginner type deal.
Well, I would love to do something like that, or I would gladly help you with that. I mean, it's just the way I basically like I got a little system, like I can make it really simple about how from Connecticut up to Maduro, or even heavier than Maduro, about how what you want to pair it with.
Right.
Joseph Brazo has offered to do this for us as well, so we'll make it a little collaboration episode.
I will definitely like to be the guy who's learning about everything from start to
Let's do it for sure.
Awesome.
All right, that's the review of this very average bourbon.
Very average.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so negative about it. It's just
we can't be positive about everything. You got to tell, people want to know. Like, that's the thing. Like, coming on to the podcast, like, I'm so excited to like share what I've learned, and there's so many times that like listening to you or some of the other podcasts or something that there are other bourbon podcasts. No. I'm just talking about texting my other bourbon friends. Don't worry about it.
What?
But
I thought I was the only one.
You are the only one I listen to.
Okay.
I just talk to other people.
Okay.
But
I'm nervous.
Barry plays it off so good too because I really thought he was about to start crying. But like
I missed my calling.
it's nice to know that people that you respect and listen to would tell you like, hey, this bourbon is average. Like you may want to save $35. Like I said, you can buy so many other things for $35. If you like to, test things against other bottles and you just like to try things and just see for yourself, then grab it and see what you think. You can use it for something else, but I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Good. Well, how about we do some tips and bits before we get out of here?
Bits. I love tits and
Eric did it. I didn't do it. I swear to God, it wasn't me, Misty. I didn't do it.
Oh my God! What
Cancel
have I done?
Eric! Cancel Eric!
No,
He's a secret Saj.
And I'm usually the bad one. I didn't do it this time, Misty. I swear to God.
Can we pass this back to you? Okay, cool.
Okay, pause. I love tips and bits.
I'm leaving all that in.
So do I.
Go first, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin, you're new here, so.
What the hell? I'm trying not to laugh. Okay, where do we start with this? Tips and bits. Well, I have been on a vinyl kick lately, so
Yes, you have.
I have a nice little vinyl set up. I love my audio vintage stuff. One of the most underrated albums, in my opinion, Buckingham Nicks, is a great
nice.
album. A lot of people, might be like, "What the hell? What are you?"
It's a little soft for you, I would say, Eric.
Now I listen to everything.
Is this?
This is Fleetwood Mac level. So
Okay.
I listen to everything.
Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks.
Gotcha.
Like I can literally listen to everything from jazz. Like I literally just got Cannonball Adderley "Mercy, Mercy, Mercy" live at Chicago, and I have a Duke Ellington live at the Blue Note 1952 on the way. To all the way to like I will listen to Slipknot and Slayer, and I listen to everything. It just depends on what mood I'm in.
This guy, like, we started originally talking about wrestling and different things. Then we found out we liked heavy metal and all that. And then all of a sudden he's posting these vinyls from stuff. I was like, I don't even know what this stuff is.
It's how I grew up. I listen to everything like Trivium. Trivium just released a new song, and it is amazing. It's so good. I listen to everything. I've been to Ozfest. But anyways, to get back to what we were talking about, Buckingham Nicks. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks put out an album before they joined Fleetwood Mac. Wasn't very many put out. It was a pretty small, I think they said maybe 2,000 total released. I can't remember the number.
Wow, jeez.
But it was made at Sound City Recordings. So if anybody's ever seen the Sound City documentary, they will like literally talk exclusively about this recording. Like they would, like, Stevie talks about how she literally worked there cleaning like the studios, or she would go clean, the guy that owned the place, his house.
Hold on for 2 seconds. Sound City's the one that features mostly the Foo Fighters, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Dave Grohl bought the board.
Right.
And all this stuff. Because the board that they used there was very rare. Mm-hmm. Like, there's only made, I think, like 5 made in the world at the time.
Right.
So, anyways, this album was recorded at Sound Studio. And when you listen to it, you can tell there's that Fleetwood Mac presence there, even though they weren't in Fleetwood Mac yet. But there's a whole backstory they talk about in the movie that, after they recorded and played and stuff, Lindsey Buckingham talks about he was going around the studio doing something and he could hear their music playing in one of the rooms. Like it was blaring. And so, he's like, I'm going to find out where this is coming from. So he walks into the room and it's a Mick Fleetwood sitting in this room listening to Frozen Love, which is the last song on the album. And he's just jamming to it. They're saying, I see this guy's big, tall, like hippie-looking dude.
Yeah.
And he's just totally like, just getting into it, enjoying it, and listening to it. And he talks to him, and he finds out, hey, that's us. And so that's how they got signed to Fleetwood Mac.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Holy crap.
So that's how they got signed to Fleetwood Mac, is because Mick Fleetwood had heard that album at Sound City because he was hanging out doing something. And he heard it while he was there, and he was just loving it. And he's like, who are these people? And so he originally wanted to sign Lindsey, but Lindsey only said, look, the only way I get signed is if Stevie comes with me. Ipso facto, we have Fleetwood Mac rumors.
Is that the right usage of that phrase?
Okay, maybe not.
I don't know what it means.
But I honestly listen to everything. But if you ever get the chance to listen to this album, it's not on Spotify. You have to go like literally through YouTube or somewhere to listen to it. But it is an amazing album. I literally fought tooth and nail to get a copy of it.
That's cool.
I probably paid more than I should have, but I have an original copy of it now on vinyl.
That's awesome,
and it
dude.
is amazing.
Fleetwood Mac they were a very different band before Lindsey Buckingham. And
before them, they were a very jazz forward band. Well, another one
they were really bluesy.
I guess I'm gonna go tips and bits on you here. I'm gonna go a second one. I'm gonna break the mold.
Isn't that what we've been doing?
I think we've been on tips and bits.
I know you're only supposed to do one.
This has
so,
been behind the music with Dustin.
You can do multiples. Do you know Behind the Music's coming back?
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I love
do not
Behind
get
the
me
Music.
excited like I love Behind the Music.
I don't remember what.
You should see his eyes. He's really.
I just
excited
watched
right now.
Heavy, the Story of Metal, like again
Nice.
not long ago, which is a 4-part series, which is freaking amazing. If you like old school heavy metal.
I'm in the middle of a couple of Stevie Ray Vaughan documentaries at the moment as well.
Anyways,
We're losing Eric.
Whitesnake. Everybody,
he's drifting.
well, I'm just give
No,
me like
I enjoy music.
just give me like
history.
2 to 3 minutes, and I promise I'll shut up after this. Whitesnake. Everybody
a
thinks
long time in
Whitesnake, so they
podcast
think,
time.
"Here I go again."
Here I go again.
See, or
I know that
or
one.
is this love? They think of the hair metal bands, which
I learned all my hair metal stuff from Joe Dirt.
also Thank you, Eric, for killing the mood.
Joe Dirt.
I was going to say I'm
That's like saying everything I know about male anatomy comes from Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, sorry, Dustin.
No, it's quite
Did you just
all
call
right.
him Justin?
No, I said Dustin.
I love 80s hair metal. Yes, I know I'm going to get judged for it. I don't care.
I love it too.
Like, I'm literally driving into Lexington and Winger Hungry comes on, and I'm like, got it cranked. So, anyways, everybody thinks Whitesnake, this big hair metal band. Go check out anything from Slide It In earlier, which was released in 1983 or 84. I can't remember the year right now off the top of my head. Go check out anything from that year's prior, and they are a blues rock band, and it is some of the best rock music you will
Interesting.
hear. I swear.
Also,
look up
all
Love
right.
Hunter, Ready and Willing. I mean, there's some great albums that are just good rock, bluesy rock. I love it. All right?
Also,
I can't help
R.I.P.
it.
Dusty Hill.
Don't get me started on that. Tres Hombres, the greatest. Between that and their first album is amazing. I love old school ZZ Top also. Anything before Eliminator they are straight up blues, jazz, rock. And that's another good documentary if you ever get a chance to watch it on Netflix. I'll shut up.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry.
You are
That was like an out-of-body experience.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're a real auteur.
You turned into a different person when you started talking about music, and
You really do.
I love that.
You really do.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I don't mean
that
to.
What
is
are you
nothing-
apologizing
That's
for?
nothing to apologize.
I'm trying not to take over the show or anything.
No.
I have my things I'm into.
I'm watching you talk about that, and like you are so into it, and like your demeanor changed, and like you were just going with all the information you had, and it was awesome. Like I thought it was great.
You and I are. I'm talking to Eric, not Dustin, but you and I are those kinds of people where when we love something, we want to find a way to get involved with it, which is why we both played music.
Yeah.
We both create content about bourbon, and I think that there is a sense that gets a little bit lost of appreciation and love in that capacity because you get so involved with it that you kind of stop indulging in the thing that made you fall in love with it in the first place.
Right.
And it's so refreshing. And I mean this genuinely. I'm not trying to blow smoke or anything. It is so refreshing to listen to somebody talk about something that I feel like I have more ownership in, but just from a strictly objective and genuinely excited point of view.
And I will say that on the other side of things, like I enjoyed listening and watching you talk about that, even though that wasn't. We all like music, but that's not the music that like I'm really into. But seeing somebody so excited and into it, like it just makes you enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought you have nothing to apologize for that. I thought that was great.
For sure.
I was hooked on what you were saying, and I loved it.
It's one of those things where it makes you want to investigate what they were talking about in the first place.
Right. That's how you learn about new things, because you get excited because you see somebody so into something, and it makes you want to go get into that, or at least look into it.
Right. And I mean, it even extends past, that particular thing, and it kind of reminds you that it's okay to really be into something and to be passionate about things.
Exactly.
I mean, I know that things like anime are not for everybody, but on the off chance that we talk about something that we love, and it strikes a chord with somebody based on, the writing and the characters and,
right.
Aspects of the storytelling that we love, if that hooks somebody, that to me feels like a worthwhile thing to have a conversation
and
about.
You'll see me my face will get lit up, and my demeanor will change when I'm in like that anime zone.
Okay. I'm committing to this because I know you love it and I have not seen it yet, but I am suggesting this because I know I'm going to love it and I want this to be our next Prepare Your Pour.
Okay.
Akira.
You've never seen Akira?
I have never seen Akira.
Oh my gosh.
Akira is probably one of the most classic anime movies. And it's just that you put a checklist of anime you've got to watch, and that's up at the top. Like, it's just...
I don't disagree, because I know how much it means to the community and how much people love it, and I just have not gotten the guy who mows my lawn is calling me.
Huh. Over there.
I'll call him back in a minute. We don't need a lawn mode right now. I can't afford it anyway. We just got it this week. Anyway, but it's just one of those things where I haven't gotten around to it yet.
No, I understand.
And with this, I am purposefully watching it and attentively watching it. So anyway, Eric, what are your tips and bits this week?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to keep on. I actually was, I had a couple, but I'm going to keep on with the anime kick right now.
Yeah. Can you turn your mic a little bit more towards me if you're going to talk to me?
Is that better? No, seriously, I get talking to everybody.
It is better. Yeah.
But
we're just going to have to get headphones for you if you're on this mic again.
Yeah, probably. So there is an anime, and it's currently HBO Max just got it. It's called 91 Days. I've actually talked to you about this.
You have, yeah. That's the
Prohibition.
The Prohibition
That's
one.
really good. I watched it after you.
Okay, I was going to say Dustin should watch it too. I don't know.
I've seen it because after you commented on something, I think we talked about this in text back and forth.
Yeah.
Really good.
So it's one of those deals where, if you've never watched anime, you've probably only heard bits and pieces about it, and you think it's all explosions and people flying around fighting the whole time. But there's every genre of anime, just like movies or TV shows. There's slice of life, just about normal life. There's history and all that. And this one, actually, it's called 91 Days, and it takes place during Prohibition.
That's so cool.
In Illinois, in the area called Lawless. And what's going on is that there's mafia, fighting for different areas of Illinois.
Right.
And it all is based around bootlegging this whiskey. So it talks
so cool.
It talks about distilling whiskey, and this group has the whiskey, and then this other mafia group, they want to take control of it, and it all centers around one guy whose parents were killed by the mafia when he was younger.
Jeez.
And he acts like he's just wants to be in the mafia when his real motive is to get back at the bosses.
Revenge, yeah.
So he does
I love that.
Yeah, he's doing all this
story.
stuff. He's doing the stuff that he doesn't believe in.
Yeah.
and it's all motivation to eventually revenge his parents. So it revolves around mafia, prohibition, whiskey. It's just, like any type of old like mafia movie or show, you're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
So
I'm totally down for that. That sounds incredible.
And it's all on HBO Max now, and it's dubbed, so you don't have to worry about reading subtitles or anything. They dubbed it, so.
Okay, two things. One, we should probably do a prepare your pour with that.
Oh, it would be great.
Yeah. Two, should I watch Akira with sub or with dub?
Honestly, it's been dubbed pretty good. I don't think you're going to miss much.
The only ways I've ever watched it's been dubbed. I think I watched it once with subtitle, and you're not gonna.
I think you should watch it once.
There's not gonna. You're not gonna miss much, but like he's saying, to watch it once with the
dubbed.
subtitle.
Yeah, watch it dubbed. Get the story, because it's one of those that you may want to watch once or twice because it's kind of there's some complex.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then turn around. I know the story. I'm going to watch it subtitled. Maybe see if they change anything, but nothing either dubbed or subbed. It's not going to change how you feel about it.
Okay.
I don't think.
Cool. Well, I'll do that then. I've got two recommendations, and then we'll get out of here. The first one, Dustin, you can also relate to again. I watched the entirety of what is available of Titans this week. Have you seen any of it? Do you know?
I saw the pilot or the first episode.
Yeah.
Of Titans.
You haven't seen the first two. They got the first two seasons.
I've not watched the whole season.
on
I watched
HBO
it when it
Max.
first came out as the pilot, and that's all I've seen.
Oh. Wow.
It's getting cut. Yeah.
And cut.
Thank you. I went into the show thinking it's going to be campy and it's going to be like another CW show. At times it is, and it's got kind of weird offbeat moments, and the pacing isn't consistent most of the time, but I think that this is my favorite portrayal of Dick Grayson in mainstream media as Robin and eventually Nightwing. I don't think that's a spoiler.
1000%.
I can't remember. It's been so long. Is he Nightwing or is he still Robin?
He did become Nightwing.
Okay.
At the end of season 2.
He transitions from Robin to Nightwing.
And this, I think I had to kind of suspend a little bit of disbelief with the costuming. Like I think that it looks initially like the Nightwing suit is a bit much. But the more I think about it and the more I realize that it's supposed to be slightly more practical than what I would anticipate, the more comfortable I am with watching it. So they've only put 3 episodes out so far of season 3. I was texting Dustin about it last night because I had nobody else to talk with about it. And I lost my favorite character. And I was literally crying over it because of how emotional it was. We can talk about it once we're done recording. I just don't want to spoil it for anybody. The other thing, though, this is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, but I have not enjoyed a comedy series this much since, I don't know, Hug the Sun was one, but also Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun. I have been recommended this multiple times and I never got around to it until recently. I Think You Should Leave by Tim Robinson, who used to be on SNL, and he's Tim and Eric, Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
It's sketch comedy. It's unbelievably funny.
I love Tim and Eric so much. I need to check that out.
There is... Sorry. There's a sketch where they're trying to figure out the next best thing for a car model, And there's just this random old Italian guy who's sitting at the table going, I don't want the wheel to fly off. And he just keeps playing off of it. And he keeps talking about how he wants to make sure that the wheel's small enough so that he doesn't lose control. And how everybody else's ideas are stupid. And like, these are professionals in their company, in their industry. And this guy is so adamant about wheel too small. Don't want the wheel fall off. It's so funny, dude. It's so good. And there's 2 seasons on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Each episode is like 15 minutes long.
That I love.
You can
stuff
binge
like
the
that.
entire
Yes,
thing
I
in
love
one day.
binge stuff that has episodes that are shorter like that.
Have you watched Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun?
No, I need to, Donna. I've heard a lot about it.
Oh man,
Eric.
I'm not gonna. What are you doing with the EpiPen? What are you doing? What?
Broden,
What are you doing with
why are you eating all those peanuts?
What are you
Broden, no! Broden, stop!
I'm landlocked.
Where's the sea? Can we watch some? I got to show you one thing before you leave.
All right.
You got to show
If
them
you-
that.
if you
That
got enough
is-
time.
That's
Anyway.
my favorite thing
All
in the
right.
whole series.
We've taken enough
Oh.
time. Thank you all so much for listening this week.
Hi-oh.
Dustin, we know that you're barely on Facebook.
Send
Never.
Dustin a letter to his P.O. box or something like that if you want to get in touch with him.
He's got carrier pigeons on the roof of his house.
I hate you guys.
Fair enough.
He does
Love you,
singing
buddy.
telegrams.
I have
What's a
Facebook and
Christmas gram?
Facebook.
I want one.
Send him a Christmas card.
I have Facebook and Facebook Messenger. Don't listen to
Talk
these
Dustin
two
one time
fools.
a year.
Send him a Christmas card in August.
Don't listen to these two
He
fools.
puts
They
them
don't
on
know
his
what you're talking
refrigerator.
about.
He lines them up.
Would you hush your mouth? Don't listen to these two fools.
Oh my gosh, that's
I have Facebook and Facebook Messenger.
They come together. They're the one and the same.
I also have
Sign
Discord.
up for one and it gives you the other one for
automatic.
free.
Would you shut up? I hate you guys.
It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day.
You know, if you want to talk, just send me a message. I'll talk to you.
Get on your phone that you turn the
Western
dial a
Union
bunch
is
of
also
different things.
acceptable, you know, by horse
He's got
and
a
stagecoach.
jitterbug.
Yeah. Get
You
his
can, only,
jitterbug.
you can only call your parents a 911.
When he falls, he may call you on his lifeline.
Every senior citizen should have life
Man.
alert.
Can't get no respect around here.
Yeah.
Man.
Girl called me. She said, "Come over. Nobody's home." I went over. Nobody was
I'm
home.
falling. I can't get up.
Man, oh man.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Eric, where can people find you on social
You can
media?
find me on Instagram at Whiskey Mutant, pairing and watching anime. I just recently decided I'm going to start pairing some candy bars. So
Yeah, you did.
So I'm a very excited person about that. Why did I say I'm a very excited person? I am very excited about pairing candy bars on there. So
I am one.
I am a being in the world, and I'm
I
very
am
excited.
one happy male
I can go
about
for
this
Snickers
situation
right now.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
yes.
watch them. I call it.
Yes.
Oh, whatchamacallit.
So Instagram at Whiskey Mutant.
And you can follow me personally at PRitter1492 if you want to follow the show. It's at my Bourbon on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on the iTunes podcast app or your podcatcher of choice. We'll read it out here on the show. You can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. Send us...
There it is.
Okay. I thought I had more in the tank.
And there you go.
Questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. As we were kind of saying earlier, too, it
Barrel
would be nice to
rings.
get barrel rings
Come
back.
on.
859-428-8253. There it is.
There's another.
I gotta push it. I gotta push my stomach out.
There's a
so I can
combo.
get it out. It would be nice to get voicemails from people again, and we'll listen to them on the show, respond to them accordingly. What was the question we were asking people to respond to?
What
You
was
just want to
it?
hear from people.
Yeah, I just want to hear from people. Perry Russell?
Your mom calls.
Perry Russell calls. My mom?
Your mom.
My grandma?
It would be so.
Anybody?
It would be so funny if Perry Russell called.
Hint, hint. You know who you are.
Daddy wants me to try the Dickel.
Daddy finally gave me a bottle of my own bourbon.
3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row. We've got Perry Russell.
Stopping either.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Videos go up there all the time. We got a new one coming out very soon. I know I said this past week, but I'm still working on it. I haven't had a whole lot of free time. Recently, I go live on Thursday nights over there as well, 8 p.m. Eastern. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am.
Tune in next week.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, yes, but also patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast.
Yes,
for as
Patreon.
little as $1 a month, you can support the show. For as little as $5 a month, you can get bonus content like the pregame chats and early access to YouTube videos, which go up whenever I get them done. Marie's ready for some snuggles. That does it for this week's episode. We will see you all next week, but until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
I'm Dustin.
Great, and this is my Bourbon Podcast.
Oh.
We haven't officially started the episode. This is going to be something right here. I'm telling you.
We're about to.
You're on the man, so
No, I'm just saying this is going to be.
it's happening.
Oh, I know what's happening. Wait, is this real life?
Are we live?
What?
Jeez Louise. You said it like that? Oh, what?
What?
That's how you said it?
What? Am I? What? I don't know what to do with my hands. Am I supposed to have a drink?
Okay, goodbye.
What?
Stop talking.